take home, so she's got to good practice. I haven't done that. I'll do it. Yeah. Yes, yes. Yeah. I wish she could get it right. Because you have to do, I can't remember. Yeah.
We are, yes.
Yes. So what you think?
Last I know, we were King Fiddlehead going in.
Right, okay. No.
That's what she was last said.
Yeah, exactly.
We were King was going up to 14, Great Northern.
They are. Goddamn. Oh. No, not sure. Yeah. And they called about her, some of you today. Yes, I did. Well, she was. She's gonna check with her. I said it's right. She was. So, first of you. She was paying $20. She goes, and they wanna do some more patient, something, and they're trying to charge them
Try.
$60. She was, you know, we moved before, I like it. No. Yeah. Well, she thought about doing that. I said, well, put it on the market, don't be silly. She goes, I did. So, she'll give it away. Take a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Is that
here
all?
every second. That's slow.
What's that say? The phone's just 458. Because we noticed the election night that was a lot slower. I can't reach them, and I'm not blind.
So you come in by that one and read by that.
Yes. I brought in a small step ladder from my house. I love that.
And you had one at the fire station.
Did you? Well, this was, we had, I don't know, we had up with a bunch, so I brought down one of the small ones that we had for here.
Well, I have 458 official cell phone code.
Yeah, that's what mine says.
Yep, so is mine.
Oh, yeah. We have plenty more. That's right. And then the batteries. Yeah. In case they won't have an issue. We don't want that to happen again.
Guess we'll call a meeting to order. Pledge allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You see the warrants have all been signed. Did anybody note any errors or omissions of the town of Newry selectmen meeting minutes for May 23rd, 2023?
I looked it over twice and I didn't see anything, and I'll make a motion we accept it as read.
I'll second
Been moved and seconded that we approve town of Newry selectmen meeting minutes for May 23rd, 2023. All those in favor?
In favor?
it. In favor.
In favor? announcements? Public comment? There's no public hearings or possible. Let's start with the items for discussion and possible action. Approve the 6 months meeting schedule. We can approve this, but like you've said we've said in the past, it's all subject to change.
Yeah.
I
You
mean,
put on the calendar for that,
Yeah. Yeah.
I move we accept there it is, the 6 month meeting schedule. None of
second
these,
it. Been moved and seconded that we accept the 6-month meeting schedule. All those in favor?
in favor.
In favor.
In favor.
Right, which may change.
Yeah, and Wednesday meetings are tough.
Yeah. Well, that's because the holidays
I
Tuesday
know.
were closed, so. Could do it on a Monday, I guess. That's up to you guys.
Okay, update on the personal property tax.
I included a copy of what was mailed out to Mr. Durgan, have not heard back from him as of yet. He does have, I believe it's, I keep wanting to say 60 days, I'm pretty sure it's 60
It
days.
says you have 60 days for receiving this notice.
Okay, good, so it's 60 days.
Has it been mailed out yet?
At what part?
Has it been mailed out?
Yes, it was mailed on 5/26.
Okay.
Yep. So that's where that sits.
So we're still waiting to hear.
Yes, and Rob comes next Monday. Anyway, so he'll write up the paperwork that you guys have to sign. So,
Okay, update on the church. You can choose a realtor.
yes. We
Now,
have-
do we really have to put it to a realtor?
I think it'd save us a lot of grief.
Yeah, and that way all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted.
Right.
You ever slip something under somewhere?
Well, I was just asking.
Yeah. I don't wanna be accused of doing things incorrectly. So the first, Sally Harkins said 90,000, we had the other comparable market value, market analysis done by Cassie Mason's Real Estate, Lindsay Gagnon, and hers, said 99,330. So. Whichever you want, because it does have to be, as Lindsay noted, the subject property is within the right-of-way from Route 26, so they'd have to get a DOT permit to create a driveway. Anyway,
That's just something they have to be aware of.
that's right. We would not be doing it, they would have to do it. So.
Unless they decide, if they're gonna come through with the other, the road there. What was, whatever the name of that road was. there.
Oh,
Moldus.
Mogus Lane, they would have to talk to the people that own the land.
Right,
Yeah. Again, that would be on
that would be something that's.
the buyer
something else
also.
would have to-
Yep,
We need to have a surveyed map to go with this, I think, because the lawn is moving further over than what
Yeah.
the line is.
yeah. So whoever we go with will ask us for all
Yeah.
that stuff. Whoever you choose.
I don't really care who we go with, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't look like we were railroading somebody in.
Right.
Mr. Chairman, would you discuss, for the record, the correspondence with the town's lawyer?
I had contacted the attorney to make sure that we could, that we should sell the property. And for the record, Brooks, I emailed you back and said that you should not reply to the town attorney, because that costs town money.
Okay, for the record, I
So you
did
know.
not expect any reply.
Okay, but you should,
I am a free citizen.
I agree.
Stop.
No,
You stop.
No.
I am a free
Brooks.
citizen,
excuse me.
and I can talk to anybody I want to.
Well, from now on.
No, from now on.
No, listen, from now on, the only thing that people are getting is gonna be a copy of the agenda. You're not gonna get the packet till you get here.
That
So
is a
you're not-
violation of free speech.
No, you.
We are free
Brooks.
speech television.
Stop.
You stop.
Free speech
Costing the
television.
town money when you write to the attorney.
Oh, it doesn't cost anything. He didn't reply.
That, he didn't reply because I had, you saw what I wrote. Anyway, I had asked the attorney, let's see. I said, we had a town meeting, it went pretty well. I have a couple of questions about the church. It was voted at the town meeting to sell the church. Of course, we had a few people who want to get a petition going to keep it. The meeting was May 15th. We did ask why they want it and what they want to do with it, and nobody could give us a good answer. They have not done so yet, and is there a time frame for a petition? Because I couldn't find anywhere, but I thought I'd ask the attorney. There is none. I said, my next question is, we had a realtor give us fair market value with her name and dollar amount at a public meeting. So the selectmen wanted to know if we could get another realtor's opinion. And I wasn't sure if it was legal to do it the way I had asked, because I had given out her name and dollar amount in a public meeting. And then I asked about the schoolhouse also. And he wrote back, and he said, and I gotta find it. There's no specific time frame to file a petition. If they do not submit one, it has to have valid signatures, which we knew that. And then the board would have to call a special town meeting for a petition article within 60 days following the submission of the petition. The town shouldn't let the possibility that a petition might be filed to stop from carrying out the vote to sell the church. So he appreciated that the dollar amount of church was discussed in a public select board meeting that was taped, but unless a town meeting set the vote asking for a price of the church property, the board is free to ask for a second or third opinion on the value. And the market will tell us whether anyone's opinion on the value is good. So, and Brooks wrote back.
And you didn't finish that letter.
It talked about the schoolhouse. Well, I didn't put yours in here because this was already in the packet.
Okay, could you read my letter to Castificus, please?
I don't know if I have that in front of me. Because you wrote back and you didn't think what was said at town meeting was correct. I have a tie vote, and a tie vote goes the way Vern told us. And that
Did you get a legal opinion on that?
No, it's been that way since I've started in town business and since you've been in town.
Didn't
business.
Castificus in his letter say, wow, at the very end of the letter? He said, wow, that's an awful small amount of people for
Yes,
that
to
amount.
town meeting. Yes, but we can't make people come to town meeting, like we can't make people to come to these meetings.
So did you get a legal opinion on the tie vote and whether,
No.
I got advice,
Under Robert's rules.
I got advice from a lawyer that said, once you have a 2/3 to reconsider, that one dies. The original motion dies. It's a new game. The result is a tie vote.
But we didn't have 2/3.
We have a 2/3 vote.
You had a 2/3 vote to reconsider.
No.
No,
No, I don't think we
That
did.
was the tie vote. It wasn't 2/3.
Well, it's on the tape anyways. It's on
It
the,
wasn't a 2/3 vote because if it had been, we would have continued discussion.
no, it was
that night.
2/3, 2/3 to have the second vote.
it said 13 yes to revisit, voted yes, and 13 voted no. So we didn't revisit it, because we have 15 yeses to sell the church and land, and 10 noes not to, on the original vote. And then I had written to revisit the vote, to revisit the article, 13 yes and 13 no. So we did not revisit it again, so it was voted to sell the church.
Well, I'll have to look at the tape again.
Feel free, it's okay. So at this point, I think we need to move forward, because it was voted on at town meeting, to sell the church.
We're gonna have to go with what the majority wanted to do.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, but, I mean, we didn't have the two-thirds vote to
No.
revisit it, so.
Right.
And you feel comfortable with that low amount of attendance? A lot of
Greenwood
people,
had the same.
huh?
Greenwood had either one less or one more than what we had this year.
Well, if people knew the,
People,
They did know, it was in the Bethel Citizen.
I know
All
the
places that
line.
we knew
I
where
know.
to.
What would you recommend to get more people at the town meeting?
People called me.
Have
the
a
next
public
day.
hearing about it. Find out
To
what
go to
people,
the town meeting?
no, have a public hearing before you decide to sell it. To see if there's any group or organization that's willing to take it over. To
Several
see if there's
people called.
anybody who's willing to volunteer to do the upkeep.
But several people called the next day to find out what. the
You're not
vote
a
was.
public official.
she can still speak, like you can speak.
Well, I would like the public officials to speak.
I feel like we've been talking about this for a long time. That's what I think. And anybody who lives in this town who doesn't know that really is living under a rock. I'm sorry to say it like that, but it's true. We've been talking about this, I think, for 2 years since I've been a selectman that I've been involved in these conversations.
I think it started when I was in Florida.
So, as far as I'm concerned, everybody should be pretty aware of the situation that we're in. And if they didn't come to the town meeting, then they
Well-
have lost their right to complain about it. If you don't vote, you don't get to complain about it. That's how I feel.
Well, I guess I got my complaint in.
Thank you.
Right, and you come to all the meetings and you come to all the voting things, you can, as far as I'm concerned, complain as much as you want. But just because it doesn't go your way,
No, I know.
it's unfortunate, I get it, but.
Well, it's just unfortunate that it has no historical value because there's been so many weddings, so many baptisms, you know, so many things that are far deeper than the Sunday River Schoolhouse.
We agree. I mean, nobody's disagreeing with that. But the people that are in town that had functions there and stuff had called here and said, oh, okay. They
They
didn't
called
care.
to find out how the vote went. They knew it was happening, and they called the next day to find out how the vote went.
Yeah, and they didn't come to town meeting.
And they didn't come.
Shame on them.
And their vote was.
Exactly,
Their
exactly,
sentiment was
shame on them. That's exactly what I'm trying to say.
that I have my memories, so that was their.
But if we sell it, maybe somebody who wants to buy it will do something different with it. I don't know. who's
Maybe
gonna
they'll
wanna
have
buy
it
but-
as what was it called? A meditation building. But again, I don't think it can be a commercial business, a commercial venue. That's the word.
But a church could run there because it's not commercial. It's a nonprofit.
I'm not gonna answer that, but you could be right.
That's right.
Yeah. But, anyway,
Well, this isn't not the first time that we've had such a few voters pass something that we don't all agree on. But unfortunately, that's what we have to do because that's what the vote was. I mean, there is a step that people could take.
I know, and, you know, I'm not gonna be the asshole and run around with the petition. You know, I'm just asking you guys to step up and maybe take a second look at it since it was such a close vote and there was such few attendance. But I mean, it's over as far as I'm concerned. God hasn't lived there for many years.
so, which realtor are you looking at?
It's in the town report, which anybody can pick it up if they want. It tells everything that's gonna happen at the town meeting. If they're interested, I guess they should have picked one up.
Well, we have it on the website.
Yeah. I guess, I don't use the website.
Right, it is on the
It is.
website. We made sure to put the address.
suggest we move on.
Well, I guess we have to choose, well, it's gonna be sold, I mean, that was the will of the townspeople.
Right.
We have to uphold,
Right.
I mean, that's, as elected officials, we have to go by what the
What they
town
wanna do.
voted to do. I mean, a lot of places you go, they can have 14 different votes, but I mean,
That ain't the way we roll in Newry.
well, it's just one of those deals that the vote didn't go the way I wanted, so I'm gonna get another vote. And eventually, hopefully, you'll get what you want, but, you know, it's sad that it's gonna be it got voted to sell, but maybe everybody that wanted it should have made a few phone calls and got people here. So I guess now we decide what realtor, that's the route we're gonna take.
Sally didn't give us one in writing, like a
Um,
nice handy packet.
She didn't do hers like that, she just gave me a one pager that I gave you guys before.
Okay.
She didn't get fancy like the other one. No.
Well, there's two ways of looking at that, I mean, Lindsay knew
Yeah,
what the price was, so.
well, that and, Sally did hers for free for us, and Lindsay's charging us $100. Because you guys wanted another opinion, so she said she would have to charge us $100, and I said, okay, because,
I wasn't looking to make money
no,
on it.
no,
I just wanted to make sure that it was kinda like fair.
yep. I mean, just because they say that's what it's worth, doesn't mean that's what you
That
have to
doesn't mean,
ask.
yeah, you might end up selling it for,
50,000,
you know,
150,
or whatever,
No.
We
yeah.
put a price on it. and-
yeah,
You gotta somewhere to start.
start, yes.
Well, I guess if you want my opinion, whether you want it or not, I'll give it to you. I think we should go with Sally Harkins because she did it for free, she did it first. That's just my opinion.
I don't have a problem with that. I was the one that brought up the having an extra, somebody else do it just to,
And I don't feel like their prices are super far
No.
apart, so.
Like you said, we can put a price, whatever. and
Right, yeah.
People can make offer, and
there's times, I don't know about this particular real estate subject, but there's places where somebody might ask 100,000 and somebody offers them 125 to make sure they get it.
Right.
so did you make that a motion to go with Sally?
I can make a motion. That we use Sally Harkin, whatever the name of her real estate is.
I'll second
They moved and seconded that we go with Sally Harkins for the realtor to sell the church. All those in favor?
it. In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
And we did put, you know, we did put in that motion.
I can give what,
Well, I just wanted you to handle the paperwork that needs to be
oh,
signed.
okay,
To make that a motion, you want that a motion?
yeah,
I'll make a motion that our administrator takes care of the paperwork that needs to be signed on the church realtor and sale after it comes before the board.
I'll second that.
They moved and seconded that we allow the administrator to sign the paperwork for the selling of the church. All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor. Okay, update on the schoolhouse shed.
we looked at the, historic Amy actually looked it up on the National Historic Register, and then Katsifikas did the same thing. I can't see where the shed is listed, but he said if it was at the will of the people to re-roof it, he would suggest that we re-roof it. But we have two ladies that are on the schoolhouse committee board, committee, I shouldn't say board, committee. And they pointed out to me just before the meeting that it is, we only voted on a lump sum, we didn't vote on anything specific. It was talked about,
Well, I do know, yeah, it needs a roof, but the sills and stuff are not in very good shape either.
Can I speak?
Go ahead.
I mean, if you put a roof, that structure won't hold the new roof. It would be down.
Yeah.
when I read the historic stuff, it said that there might be an old slate chalkboard in there. Has anybody been in? I haven't been in it.
I'll look the next time I'm going over.
Yeah,
We can look.
yeah, if you wanna look,
I'm
just,
not going.
I didn't have the right shoes on, so I got
Look,
it.
I mean, I haven't, because the door's dragging on the ground, I
Yeah,
haven't
right.
opened it
Yeah,
all the way up, but I peeked in and it looked to me like it had been a woodshed.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, that's what we
exactly.
think too.
with some junk.
yeah,
But I didn't see a slate chalkboard or
Yeah,
anything.
that's
but
what it said at one
honestly,
point.
Did I go in and really poke around?
No, this was in 1970.
yeah, this was a long time ago, so yeah, 1978, yeah.
It
It's probably long gone by now.
It may have been moved by
Somebody
now.
took it.
Yeah, that would be. But it did say that was in there, and I didn't, call him or anything, but,
I mean, is there a lot of stuff in there?
no.
It's just
I think
fallen
Just
apart
there.
stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a woodshed, with all the wood's out of it, with the
Right.
bark and stuff is
Yeah,
there.
Well, I think we should look at it and see.
yeah.
I don't know if that door opens even on the way, but we can
Yeah.
figure it out.
Well, we raised the money, but that doesn't mean that we have to spend
Right.
it to do that if it doesn't make sense.
We didn't, right, and we didn't,
It's only $4,000, you're
Right.
not gonna get very far.
You get the roof done for that, but the roof just covers up the problem.
And it didn't, and the warrant didn't say anything specific, it just said gonna raise $4,000
yeah.
to see what sum of money the town will raise and appropriate for the Sunday River Schoolhouse account. $4,000.
One of the other things that needs to be done is that it would be on the, I would say the south side. There's a hole like this in the side of the foundation that varmints can get in there.
Yep, yep.
Right.
And the window
And the
that,
step, the
broke
grand
into-
steps are unsafe.
Oh,
yeah,
there's a broken window?
if there was, and there's a piece of plywood over it now, somebody broke into it 2 years ago, I think.
Oh,
It was a while ago.
Yeah.
I remember
And so
hearing
they
about
put
it, but.
plywood to cover
Okay.
that over, and then underneath the front door, there's a piece of, the siding coming off, and that was all rotted underneath, and the front
Yeah.
stoop is kinda like wonky.
4,000 might cover some of that stuff, but,
The steps have shifted.
right.
Yes.
that I noticed.
I was wondering, and I don't know for sure, but, if it's a historic building, do you not have to keep the integrity so it's historic? Like, let's say it had slate, it doesn't have it, but let's say it has a slate roof. Do you have to maintain a slate roof on that to keep the historical standing for that? I don't know, I'm asking.
I wanna say yes, but I'm not sure if that's, in Bethel, I know you had to, but I wasn't sure if that had something to do with their code, or if it was, I'm pretty sure, because of the cold block building, they had to be careful what they did on the
Right.
exterior of the building.
Because my other thought would be for the building, granted, we don't have a whole lot of money there to throw at it. I don't know if you could get somebody who's an expert in historical buildings and just do like an appraisal, so that all of a sudden you don't find out like, oh, the roof's gonna cave in, or gee, all the sills are rotting away and it's gonna, take a tank. I don't know if that was something that the 4,000 could go for, so that maybe every year we could pick one project and bring it to town meeting and say, okay, this year we'll do maybe new sills, because all the
Yeah.
sills are going, and
We raised 4,000, but was there anything in the account left over that would carry over?
We didn't vote to carry any over.
No, but I mean, okay,
Yeah.
some of them do, but that one probably doesn't.
I don't think so.
Okay,
Off the top of my head, I can't remember, but I don't think so. But I will verify that.
Can I ask another question? Is, Loretta,
Yep, sorry, that.
Trying to look at me over here.
Maybe I should move it down further.
is there any evidence that says that that shed was constructed at the same time as the schoolhouse? Is it the same date? I mean, it could have been
Years
built in
later.
1950. You know.
I'll have to relook
Yeah.
at that again.
So it may not
Yeah.
even count as historical.
Yeah, I didn't see it
Yeah.
listed.
I mentioned it.
Yeah.
would it be in like town records? I wouldn't mind looking at like, you know, the town meeting, like in
Yeah.
the let's say 1930s, I'm just guessing. And see if, you know, in 1932, they decided, oh, we need a new woodshed for the schoolhouse, and that's when it was built. I don't know.
We could also ask, Charlie's gonna shoot me, but Charlie Bean went to school there. We could ask him about the woodshed.
Alan went there for a year or so.
Yeah, I think Alan did.
Yeah, he might have, but that
He
would
went
have
to
been
Sunday school very
before,
cool.
yeah, it would have been before Alan, because Alan's younger than I am.
Yeah,
But we can ask Charlie too. But I'll try to forward you the historic register information.
And, you know, if there's something that we can do to help, you know, look stuff up for this, I'd be more than happy to help
Okay.
with that.
We can do that.
might be, I mean, it probably won't raise a whole lot of money, but if you had it open 2 or 3 times a year with a little donation pot there, if somebody comes and looks around, they might throw $1 or $2 in there, but it wouldn't raise a lot of money, but
We did, I was on the committee 15 years ago maybe, and we did do that. We opened it on what used to be Sudbury Canada Days,
yeah.
and during Mollyauket Day and stuff like that, we had it open for people to come in and had a
You
little,
get much
No.
people to come.
but at least it was open and got some air.
Yeah, I've often wondered why the schools don't
Yep,
bring kids to see what school used to be.
exactly.
Because they can look it right up on their little tablet.
And they don't have any bus drivers.
There you go.
It's too far to walk.
So it sounds like we're just still waiting for more
I would,
information on the
just-
shed.
I would
Yeah.
suggest we table this for another meeting, till next meeting. Maybe we get more information.
Okay, next up is FYI, for this the animal control information.
Yes. Well, there was one ACO for 16 or so towns, and she's going to retire. And the one that does the counties, I don't think is able to pick up because it's a lot. We are lucky and don't have too many calls, so it wouldn't affect us a whole lot. So I had called Donnie Dorff, the county administrator, and said, hey, what are you thinking about ACO? And Vernon Kim didn't go to this meeting, but I think they're very interested also. So they were talking about have it be a county employee, and that's the figures that they just tentatively threw out.
What? You know what we've been spending? Peanuts.
Nothing.
Well, yeah,
No, we haven't spent any,
okay.
so, but I don't know, I know they had before I started, they had a call, and the ACO didn't show up, I guess, but, the calls that we used to have were mostly at the skiway. People's dogs
Ran away.
that they let run around up there, and, but I think the, security had been picking them up, and I don't know if he had a place he put them or not, I'd have to check with Dick.
Well, Alan did that for quite Alan.
Yes, Alan used to do it, but then there's a lot of education that goes with it now, a lot of training and everything that they want you to do. So, according to this figure, they've got us at $4,000, but they're going by per capita, I think.
We still call Alan, even though it's not
Yeah,
official.
right,
My wife used to do
So,
Bethels for quite
yeah.
a while, and
yeah,
they would get all kinds of calls in the middle of the night and everything
Yes.
else, so.
yeah. So this is food for thought, something that they're thinking about. I didn't know how you guys felt about it, but according to state law, we have to have an animal control officer.
Well, it seems to be quite an issue trying to get one in each town.
Yes. And it's,
I don't necessarily say we need to join it now, but I think we should continue to pursue it.
yeah, yes.
Yeah, I don't think we should write it off by.
Oh, no, but you say, oh, yeah, this is golden, but no. Just want to get your feel on it, because we do have to have something. In case we do have an issue.
It's like everything, the government has to get involved, and
Yes.
then you have to have all the certified.
Yes. Yep.
Jumbo jumbo.
Yes, it's a lot of training that they have to do.
Get more involved.
Well, the good news is, this is probably the first budget that we're the lowest number on.
Yes,
That I've seen.
Well, I think they'd have to get together with a bunch of
Yeah.
different people from towns,
oh, yeah,
before they could really do it.
right, these were the ones that actually went to that meeting.
Showed interest.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
So I'm sure they'll have more meetings about it.
right, yep, they will. We'll see what, some of those people like meetings.
Storm updates?
Yes, the FEMA, the winter storm Elliott from December, we spent $5,695, and FEMA and MEMA have come through. FEMA's guaranteed us, we're gonna be reimbursed 75%, which will be $4,271.25, and the state's supposed to do an additional. I haven't heard from the state, but we had a meeting here. Joel and I met with two people from FEMA, a guy from MEMA, and another guy, he was another department. They came from all over the place. I mean, the guy was from South Carolina, the girl was from Colorado, and the guy was from,
Surprised they
Puerto
get-
Rico? Something like that.
Surprised they could find their way to their little town.
Well, they did. One guy was a little late, but he got, they've been to a few other towns around and, but that one's all done. The May storm hasn't been totally declared yet, but at this point, we have paid $87,257.
How much of that can we, I don't know if we're gonna get any of it back from FEMA, but some of that we could probably put in under summer maintenance.
We probably could some, but I was waiting for the wonderful auditor that we have.
Yeah.
She was supposed to have called me yesterday, she did not. And I thought maybe she was off because it was a holiday, even though we weren't. And I didn't have her much today either. So, unfortunately, I will call her again and say, what are you thinking? Because I think we can use some of it for summer maintenance, but a lot of it I don't think so, because we've
Yeah.
got some.
Well, they were doing some work on the skiway road today.
Yeah. and they were-
Ditching.
Ditching, yeah. But we have to have, very detailed, much more detailed invoices than what we have now. We have to know which road what they did, if they replaced a culvert, if they upsized it, how much of an upsize they did. A lot of steps they have to take for this, so they're got more paperwork to send us from across, but FEMA said that they, are very sure that this will be declared, of
I would
course, because
almost
so many
think so,
towns have.
because there was a lot of issues in
Yes,
other towns in the
Yes.
area.
yeah. Some towns are still working on it, so
Yeah.
that's where we stand with the winters, with the FEMA stuff at the moment. More wait and sees.
Anybody have any questions on the code enforcement report?
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Seems about par for the course.
Nothing on that, we will go on to the deputy town clerk report.
Thank you. So we had 59 voters at the election, which I think we were quite impressed with that
Yeah.
for not having a state election. That was actually fairly good. David Bartlett did win the school board seat for Newry. He was running against Matt Mallon. So good to have him back again. We have done our 30-day notices. We had about 50 of them. We have been receiving payments for those, and at this point, we have approximately 25,
Yeah, I think so.
25 that would go to lien, if not paid. So,
Which isn't bad.
which is not bad.
So we send out, what, 2,500 tax bills?
Yeah, it's very good.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're still trying to reach out to some people because we just received some back today in the mail that didn't get delivered.
Some of the addresses have changed, I believe. too.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
So we just got some of those back and looked up some phone numbers, hopefully online, that we can reach out to those people. That's all I have.
Town administrator's report.
Well, I told you the FEMA stuff. They're back at the joint select board meeting. They're looking for Thursday, July 20th or Monday, July 31st. So,
Monday's better for me, but I don't actually wanna go at all.
So you're seeing Monday, July 31st?
Yeah. If I had to pick one, yes.
I'd rather go with 32nd though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely the 32nd.
I'll tell them that, yeah. The board picked July 32nd.
Tuesday, the 32nd.
It would be this coming, it'd be this coming Thursday or next Thursday? Let's see, today's the 20th.
July.
July.
You have another
Yeah,
whole month.
yeah.
You have another whole
Yeah.
month to get ready.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter to me, I guess. Either I can make it or I can't.
right. I mean, who knows what's gonna have happen, so. My calendar looked okay for those either day, but at this moment, but that, as we know, can change also.
I got two grandkids, say they gotta go camping, so I don't know when that's gonna happen.
Well, it's usually around your birthday, so.
He also picks the 32nd.
Yes. Okay.
2 out of 3.
Yeah. Well, if do it one of you, we do it with
Well,
one.
it doesn't matter what we say anyway.
Right,
Yes.
they're gonna pick what they
Yeah.
want, and
Okay,
then they're gonna change it anyway, so.
right. Okay, and the other thing is, we, was looking at the mileage rates from, federal, and it increased to 65.5 from 62.5. We normally follow the federal rate.
Do we budget for that?
No, I budgeted for the 62.5, but usually we have plenty in the mileage category.
I'm surprised they hadn't gone up before this with the price of
Yeah,
gas.
me too. So if you approve, we'll go to 65.5, if not, we'll stay at 62.5.
No. They shouldn't be losing money using their own vehicle for work.
Well, sure.
We don't have to stay with the,
No,
it's not a rule.
no, it's just what's typically been done.
And when did they change that, like just recently?
Well, we just noticed it.
Oh,
During budget time, it hadn't changed, but it was after budget time.
of course it was.
No, it's
Yeah.
kind of like your postage rate.
Yeah.
Yep, July again.
They just
Yeah.
do it, you have to pay it.
Yeah, yeah. So. You tell us.
Like I said, I mean,
Makes
it's,
sense.
like Tink said, they shouldn't have to pay for,
Yeah.
out of their own pocket if they're doing town business.
And pretty much the only mileage is Joel's, and then when we go to the bank, or
Yeah,
meetings,
the rest of
classes,
us is
but,
30, 40 miles quarter or something, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
I'll make a motion, we go to 65.5.
I will second that.
That's, yeah, 65 cents point five.
Yes. I like the $65. That'd be all right.
The moving saying that we go to the 65.5 cents.
Yes.
All those in favor?
In favor.
In favor.
In favor.
And the next thing I have is, been talking to Alan about the repeat fire alarm calls to these same people. I know we've talked about it back in the day, and, what about charging a fee after the third time to the same wonderful people? It's something we'd have to look in, I don't know how many other towns do it, if any do it, or if they.
I do know there are towns, go ahead.
I used to live in Springdale and I had an alarm system in my house. And it had gone off, it was like 3 times in a month, it had gone off. One of the parts had gone bad. And the police would come and check, when I was gone a whole weekend that it happened. And I got a bill from them, because it had gone off 3 times. So if it goes off 3 times, you got billed for it. I think it's like at that time, which was many years ago, it was like $100.
Well, I would say probably we're spending over $100 a call. Just in payroll probably. Am I right?
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Guesstimate. After 2 or 3 times, that's not counting fuel and everything else in the trucks, that's just payroll.
Well, you're talking about like false alarm, kinda.
Yeah, we have a lot of
Repeat
cooking
offenders.
incidents
Yeah,
when the bacon burns and it sets off the alarm and you get there and it's
Well,
nothing.
that's why I don't cook.
But
and the people that rent the places don't have a clue on how to shut them off, or,
yeah,
you know, they don't think anybody's gonna show up, or whatever. So this was food for thought, something we can look more into.
I think we should consider it personally, but
I just worry about somebody, you know, having renters and turning it off, and then they do actually burn the place down, and we don't know.
we're not liable for their mistakes.
Yeah.
We can look into it.
And I think, next Thursday, close at 3, because it's the end of the year. We have to do all the end of the year stuff on the computer. So we'd like to close at 3 o'clock?
We did that before.
Yes.
It's
My
actually in our
blessing.
town report that we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most 99% of the town, some of them close all day. I think it doesn't take all day to do
That'll be
that
the
stuff.
29th,
Is it the 29th?
next Thursday.
Yeah, because we're closed on Friday, so yeah, it would be Thursday.
You
Oh,
need that-
no.
you need just have approval or you need a motion on that?
Just your approval's fine.
You got mine.
I'm gonna put it on Facebook right now.
Okay. And put on that we're looking for a planning board alternate, correct?
I did that one.
Well, there are 2 vacancies.
2 vacancies.
While we're into alternates, Medicare is still looking for, would like to have towns have an alternate for their directors.
Okay,
I think, well, most of the meetings, but there's other towns that don't.
so, okay.
At some point, we have to appoint them again for this year, correct? Don't we have to do that every year?
Oh, yes.
For the different committees? and
Yes, we do that next
Yeah.
meeting.
Yeah, usually.
Another thing we have to do with the chairman at some point,
Yeah,
so maybe we should do that maybe the next meeting.
yeah.
And that way maybe we can have that list that who's on the committees and
Yep,
different stuff so we can. I mean, I guess that includes the sexton and cemetery committees, whatever committees we get.
yep. we can do that. Okay, that's all I have.
Waiting on Mandy.
I know, it's 5:46. I'm putting your planning board thing out here. 5:46, make a motion to adjourn.
Second it.
Move the second that we adjourn at 5:46, all those in favor?
In favor.
In favor. This might be a really dumb question, but what's the phone number here?
278-43123.
I got it punched in by automatic.
I know, that's what I don't.
Thank you all. Okay. You're welcome.
So,
Yeah, okay, good to know.
yeah, because I've actually, been working and working on the radio
Radio.
and
I know
they,
your vacation.
Because I thought for a while that they did.
What'd you do,
they
Dawson?
Probably used to.
they,
Yeah.
they did a lot, they used to do a lot.
Yeah, that's right. Because there was always a dog running around somewhere.
Yeah.
You're welcome. Thanks.